So a look at writing reports is probably boring as that sounds, but we've noticed both last year and this year that there've been some issues with people writing reports and people not 100% sure how to do it. And so we're going to explain a bit of the process. All the sub-associations are going to have an opportunity to view separate clips and together write a brief report. And then we'll discuss why it's so important to firstly get your reports in, but also secondly, why they need to contain certain things and because of the powers of the judiciary, etc. And we'll run through a bit of a game day process, some tips and tricks that a few of us have learned over the years about getting those captains' names and getting the copies of the team sheets, because often the last thing you want to do when you're George Haswell, you've got a few red cards, is approach the teams after the game and be asking for names and numbers and positions and whatnot is sometimes a bit daunting. Cool. So really the way that the disciplinary process works all comes from what they call the Black Book that the New Zealand Rugby Union puts out. Sets out the whole process as well as what the penalties are and the appeal rights and things like that. And the reason that this presentation came about is that the Black Book has been updated this year. So Pat and I were discussing that probably an opportune time to have a bit of a discussion about things that happen. So it covers the send-off reports, games called off, referee abuse, poor behaviour form that anyone can do, and serious misconduct and all of those type of things. So anyone can make a complaint against a player within 48 hours of the end of the game, whether they have video footage or not, but only referees can do things like referee abuse forms and send-off reports and things. So I guess we have a special category in and amongst them. So in terms of game day process, one suggested option now that the teams have to bring you the team sheets prior to the game is, especially if it's in or near the changing shed or you take it back to the changing shed, is most people have camera phones now. I don't know anyone that doesn't have one. Is to take a photo of the team sheet. And then that way, if the team sheet gets wet or your scorecard gets wet or something happens at the end of the game, you have a copy of the team sheet. So you don't necessarily need to spend so long writing the person's name out. You just have to make sure that those cards are noted on the team sheet. Important to take a note of the player's number, team, time, score at the time, and a brief mark of the offence. So usually I do R for repeat infringements or R HT high tackle, so I can remember what it is, or R side entry or something. So in case I get 4 or 5, which hopefully doesn't happen, I know which one was for which report. And obviously it's important as well that we sign the team sheet and check the score, as well as that those players have been put on, as well as any blue card report. So following the game, what we need to do is call our area representative. So hopefully everyone's aware of who their area reps are, to discuss the incident and kind of flesh out what you think the report's going to look like, and they can give you some feedback on that, and make notes from that discussion if you need to, and then head online and complete whatever report it is. So a yellow card is a sin-bin report and a red card is a sending off report. And importantly, whether you agree or disagree with the card that you gave, you may have thought it was harsh or something like that, it's still important that we submit the reports, and there is the ability on the report at the end to note that this was potentially made in error or something like that. And additionally, if you gave a yellow card, but upon reflection you really thought it was a red card, still submit your yellow card report, but also submit a match report on top of that to say, in the game I issued a yellow card, however, upon reflection it was a punch direct to the head and probably should have been a red card, and then that enables the judiciary to take it further, whereas if you have only given a yellow card, the judiciary doesn't look at yellow card reports until there's 3, but they don't look at the reports separately. They just look at the fact that 3 reports. That happens from time to time with referees, or if you're coaching a referee or looking at another referee and you think you saw something that was a red card, then there is the ability to fill in those match reports and have it dealt with, which I think is probably, in fairness, one of the things that we can do rather than just turning a blind eye to it. It's obviously more difficult for the judiciary to bring a disciplinary proceeding on that basis, but we might as well not be letting people get away with things. So the reports there. So if you just head to the referee page, hopefully everyone's been there and done these reports before, and then click on the forms. So last week we had a few clips of foul play, and so we're going to use so King Country is going to have a look at the high contact, which is clip number 1, and hopefully you guys have that clip with you. Central Bay is going to look at the challenge in the air. Eastern Bay is going to look at clip number 3, the lifting tackle, and Western Bay is going to have a look at clip number 4. So each sub-union will look at the clip and then write a group disciplinary report. We're just going to quickly do it in 15 minutes or so, and then we're going to present back to the group what our report is. Clear?
Yep.
Great. So I will just put the live stream now, and then we can get into that.
Sam?
Yep.
Are we following the questions on the form on the website?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a copy of one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So just follow those, and just obviously we won't need to worry about the venue and the players' team and final score.
Those 2 questions, maybe. On that.
Yeah. So just the brief description of the offence, and then the circumstances, conduct, all of those type of things. So some of them you'll need to make up a bit of a story about what you think happened in the game, but just to try to fill out the whole form.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Any more questions? Cool. So I'll just we'll come back at 7:50. Cool.
Cool.
Referees